Alrighty, there we go. All right, welcome everybody to an impromptu Saturday afternoon stream, Coffee and Art, now in the afternoon today. So I got some color books in my mail, so I thought I'm going to go ahead and stream it because I can't wait till Monday. Plus, I went to Hobby Lobby and got a few things, so I'm going to show you that. This is a book I've already, I ordered this a while back and had not done anything in it. And I said, because in some books I try to use a certain pencil in this one, a different pencil in that one, watercolors in this one, Neocolor 2s in that one. Well, in this one I decided that I would at least start just using my Crayola markers, and I reorganized them all into their nice little bundles. Sarah, stop! Stop singing, Sarah! You gotta have that song's gonna be stuck in my head. So I bundled them up, and these are probably, they come in a pack of 50, so this is probably maybe 2.5 sets all total. But I bundle them by color, and it's got a little dark with this, but we'll see how it goes when I start showing things. So I bundle them, like there's my purples, my pinks and reddish purples, my pinks, light pinks and flesh colors, dark blue, light blues, green blues or turquoise colors, and then here's light greens, dark greens, browns, yellows, oranges and reds, and grays. So I have them all bundled by, if I want to color, I just pick up a bundle like this. It's just so easy to me. And I do the same thing with my Prismacolors for the most part, then if they're in a bundle like this, I can just pick it up and do this, find the color I want, pull it out, and there you go. When I'm done with it, just stick it back in the, yeah, I know, right? They do. I don't know why they started that, but that's true. They do. They will censor that, Ange. So anyway, yeah, so it's just real easy to, fan through your colors just like it is with pencils. You have them in a bundle. You can just do this, find what you want. It's just easy, right? And then the ones I use all the time, I've shown y'all, I just put them in, a tray like this. Is it too dark, guys? I can turn on another lamp, but I wasn't quite sure if it was too light or too dark because of the time of day. It's a different time of day when I usually stream, because normally when I stream, the sun is like beating right through my window, right here, right over there. So anyway, so this is how I keep most of my pencils that I'm using like all the time. So anyway, that being said, what I've been doing is, y'all let me know if it's too dark. I'll turn on the other light because I don't know. I don't want it to flash out, but so what I've been doing in this book is I've been starting with using those markers. And what I've been doing is not like coloring one page, but just picking out different things that, like, let's say red flowers. So I take my red and I go through and just pick out all the red flowers that I want to do. And that's how I've been working in this, although I do have one page right here that I'm a little further along in. So this one, I did color the background black acrylic paint, and then did all the stars and the rays and all that coming out of the Sacred Heart. And that's all I've done. I haven't done any of these other little emblems around. Yeah, probably at least 2, Jean. So this is one of the pages that I've got farther in. Other than this one, though, I'm just going to start flipping from the back so you can kind of see. This was already black. All the rest of the pages that you're going to see that are black were already that. The book came that way, okay? But we've done a flip of this before, and I know it's going to flash out because of the white. But so it's some pink flowers there and some little pink things there. Thanks, Jennifer. This one, the black was already on her kimono, I've added the red. Now I haven't done any shading. See, I haven't done any shading with this yet. I've just taken the markers and base coated it. And then what I'll do is, let me just grab a red here. What I'll do is I'll go in and start shading and doing, you know, more to it. But right now, all the pages that you're going to see are pretty much, unless I say otherwise, just have a little bit of marker. And these are just the watercolor you know, they're not even watercolor, water-based Crayola markers. They're just the little Crayola markers. So, like, I just sat in front of the TV and picked up a red marker and went through. Then I might pick up, this was already black, a little bit of green. Now, before I really, I should have tested a little better. On this page, I was watching TV and not really paying a lot of attention, so I was really coloring hard. In other words, if you want to use markers like these Crayola markers on a color book page, and this is thicker, it's thicker than copy paper, but not much, okay? Not much thicker than copy paper. But, you know, it's usually fine when you use these as long as you're not scrubbing with them. If you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, you scrub, 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 it'll start to go through. And this was the first page I did, and I wasn't paying too much attention, so it almost, see, it ghosted a little there. It almost went through. So after seeing that, then I was more careful. I didn't do a lot of layers, right? I just did, you know, carefully did one layer, and then now it's fine. I mean, the rest of the pages are fine. But you have to test, your Crayola markers to make sure that they're not going to go through. Of course, alcohol-based markers, it goes without saying, they will go through. So I've already done a flip through this book when I first got it, you know, when I ordered it. But I'm just kind of showing you, like here I did a little green bug, a little bit of yellow on the bee. So I would just pick a marker and just start, you know, doing little bits. And then again, this is the one that I've got the farthest on. It started out, I outlined this in the red marker and then shaded the rest with pencil. This is all marker and then a tiny bit of red. But it's yellow, orange, and red marker. Then I just kind of blend it a little bit with a little bit of red. And then all the rest of this is pencil on top of the acrylic paint. Now the reason you can do this, the reason you can do those rays and the stars on top of black is because it's acrylic paint. You can't do this on top of pencil. If I had penciled all that in with black pencil, you could not do those white, green, orange rays on top of black pencil. It just won't work. It has to be acrylic paint. So, yeah, so that's as far as I got on that one. And, yeah. Okay, so here we got, this girl looked like she was wrapped up in a lemon peel. I'm not sure if that's the idea, but I'm going to make it half lime, half lemon. So I did some with the lemon, yellow, and then I'm going to do some with the lime, because it just kind of looks like she's in a lemon peel, right? I'm not sure. So I'm going to do her in lemon and lime peel. I did a ribbon here, and this is a little tricky getting in there, I'll tell you, in the ditch of the book, but I did all the lacing and the ribbon in a blue, and that's all with just the light blue marker. And then what I'll do is I'll take a darker blue and start, you know, adding shading and detail. Let me just do one right here. Then you just go back and do more detail. I'll hold it up here in a second. Hey, Lori. Before you're covered in glue. What are you working on if you're going to be covered in glue? just going to do this one ribbon here. So you can kind of see how you can base coat something with a marker and then go back. So like here's without any, and then here's with. So you see how you can shade it with the pencil on top of the marker? Like that. So that's the idea behind all of the marker, is then go back and do this kind of thing over it while you're working on it. But I got the lace, like it's like a corset, right? And then there's a ribbon. This one, I started with the little broom, some sunflowers, and some straw. Hey, Dot. And again, no shading yet, but it's so fun to be able to have the base coat already there, and then to be able just to go in and do a little bit of shading. You don't have to do much. See, just that little bit right there. That to that. So that's my plan, man, for this book. It's just, you know, when I just don't want to have to think about anything, I just take my markers and just fill in. Now these were a light orange, and then I did go in and shade with the darker orange. That one. And then these little pea pods or seed pods or whatever kind of pods. Some kind of pods. What else? And I started doing some water lilies here. And a little yellow moon. Not a whole lot yet in this one. I did some kind of some crayon apples or something. I didn't want to look. I wanted them to look like an exotic, unknown fruit, so I did them in teal. So I did these little apples or whatever they are in a color of marker. This color marker. This, and there's no names on them. I can't tell you a number. But anyway, I base coated them in this color, then went on top of it with pencil and shaded the little apples or whatever they are. So there's that one. I need to refocus my camera, I can tell. This was already black in the background. Lotus pods? Thanks, Sarah. Lotus pods. Okay, so I think that's all I got done in this one. So this is the Color Me Enchanted. Again, let me move some stuff out of the way here. Refocus. When you show a lot of white, it wants to unfocus. Let's see what I can do. If it gets too dark, guys, tell me, because I don't have a lot of lights on, because it's a different time of day in here. There we go. It just needs some propping up because of the lamp. So anyway, that's the one that I'm working in with markers, with the Crayola markers. Okay, so let me show you what I got in the mail. What did I do with them? Oh, where did I put them? Oh, here we go. So I'll show you the first one. Laura enabled me on this one. She knew I was getting this one. I'm just using this to prop up just to have a little bit of anti-glare. So the Mysterious Library, and Laura did a flip of this one. So I'll just do a kind of a quick flip. But if you want to see a page by page, look at Anxiety Art Adventures, Laura. She did a complete page by page of this. So it's the Mysterious Library, a coloring book journey into fables. And it's all different fairy tales and fables. When Laura was doing it, they were trying to figure out, and it is in the back. It's in the back which ones are represented. The Princess and the Pea, the Red Shoes, you know, all of them are named in the back. So she enabled me. I had to buy this one when I saw it. Hey, Christy. And I haven't got the spine mashed on this one yet. So I'll just do a kind of a quick little flip. Can y'all see okay? I think it's showing up all right. I'll just do a quick flip here. Isn't that cool though? This one goes this way, castle. Rapunzel. That'll be a fun one. Look at that hair there. Just a quick flip here so you can see. Isn't that cool though? Look at that. It's going to be so fun. So I'm blaming Laura on this one. Because she showed a flip of this and I said, I got to get that one. But when I went to get this one, of course I found a couple others. There's the Princess and the Pea. And I am waiting on my Paula markers. And I told y'all this last week. I ordered Myth Morphia. It's on, pre-order. So I ordered it when I ordered my 80 Hoo Hoo Hero markers. Well, I went with free shipping. So my markers aren't shipping till Myth Morphia ships. But that's okay. I can wait. I can wait till, Myth Morphia ships. But I was wondering why everybody was getting Janet and Eileen got some, and for Jen, and Eileen got hers. Everybody's getting their markers. I went, wow, why aren't my markers shipping? Well, that's why I bundled them with the pre-order. And I could go in there and separate them out and all that and pay for shipping, but it's okay. I'll just wait. It's too much trouble. I'll just wait till they get here. I know, isn't it? Look at that snow globe. Hey, Donna. You ordered Myth Morphia? Yeah. I think the girls in Europe have got it already. I'm not positive. I did see somebody say they were coloring in it or something. But as far as I know here, it doesn't ship until the 11th from Amazon. Kirby's book. And so then here's all the different stories that are in there. So that's the Mysterious Library. Thank you, Laura, for the enabling. So these are the other two I got. And I haven't really looked through them because I just got them today. They came in the mail today, and then I had to go run errands. And then came back and ate, and then here we are. So I haven't even looked at these other than the 2 pages that they show you on Amazon. They show you a couple of preview pages, and that's all I've seen. So I haven't even really thoroughly looked through these, so we're going to be looking through these together. Sip of coffee. And then I have a little bit of a Hobby Lobby haul. A mini haul. So, yeah. Oh, I was going to ask you, Ange, are you going to be showing Paula's haul on your show? That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. So it's Manic Botanic. So, and these are one-sided, and it is thin. They're thin. It's got a little, hey Terry Trouble, it's got a little bit more tooth than your average copy paper, but it's as thin as copy paper, but it's a little bit of tooth to it. So I'm not sure what kind of paper they printed it on, but they're one-sided, so if you wanted to use any markers or anything on this, just tear it out or put something behind it, so it doesn't go through. Did you get some? No, Jean. Jean, you're so funny. So yeah, like here, you got to kind of look close because they're in there, a lot of detail. I mean, I'm glad somebody else did the Zentangle because I sure wouldn't. That's a lot of detail. But again, if you like gel pens or like the Crayola markers, you can get in there real tight with those. But even with this, I would definitely put something behind it, even with the Crayola water kids markers, because it probably will go through even that. But if it's one-sided, it doesn't really matter. And if it's an 8.5 by 11 size, this may be a little bigger. I take those out and put them in a binder. Yeah. But this would also be a good one to do a watercolor wash. Again, it will wrinkle it because it's thin, but you got to, if you were careful with your water, you could neocolor these. And then, almost like a grayscale where a lot of the shading would be done for you because it's so heavily lined, right? Yeah. So, and how I usually tackle that, Jean, is like if it's a lot of green in the back, I'll just do a complete wash of green over that and then go in there and pick out the flowers after the wash is dried. So like the same thing for the frogs. One wash of green over the whole frog and then just go in there and pick out some dark green. That's how I do these kind of pages. These little bitty tiny detail pages is I'll do a wash and then just go in there and pick out. Here's an octopus, same thing. If you wanted to do a purple octopus, and seriously, this is almost all octopus. There's maybe a little bit of background showing. I would completely put a coat of acrylic wash, water down some acrylic paint, and do a complete wash over this whole thing, let it dry, and then go in there and pick out the details. I might do that in a minute. Let me put a Post-it note on this one. I mean, I won't color the whole page. I'll do the wash. So you can do that with a big, a page with lots of detail like that. In other words, I wouldn't probably go in here and color every one of these branches. I'd probably just color a nice wash of brown over all of them. Pedro, yes, Janet, Pedro. Oh. But isn't it cool? I mean, I love the look of Zentangle. I just don't want to do it, That's just, I don't have the patience for it like Janet and some of the other of y'all can do some awesome Zentangle. I don't have the patience to do Zentangle. Well, I can say, let's put it this way. I don't enjoy doing it. I could if I had to. I've done a little, but I don't enjoy it like some people do. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Look at that eye. So I just want to show it real quick. I don't think I've seen this anybody do a flip of this. I mean, I'm sure somebody has. I just haven't seen it. But this reminds me of like Art Nouveau almost. The lines, the flow. It just reminds me of an Art Nouveau style. Does it, y'all? See a couple of lizards there, chameleons. Zentangle looks cool. I love the way it looks when I see it on something, but just to do it, See just that little bit of checkerboard in the moth up there. Okay, Trey. It's Tree Moss, but I call her Trey. And the turtles. Look at these owls. The pine cones. Isn't that cool though, guys? And it's quite thick. Bees. There's quite a lot in this book. Rooster. A hen down here. Flamingos. Eileen's not here, is she? But look how cool the detail. See, it's just got a touch of Zentangle-ness to it. You know, a little bit almost Celtic knot looking. Thanks, Jennifer. Jennifer put the link in. Yeah, Manic Botanic. Some lobsters. Elephants. Snakes. Moths. I think those are moths. Lunar moths. Like one right there in the middle, maybe. Lunar? I guess it should be Luna. Luna moths. Lunar. Oh. Flowers. It's an alligator in there. Another bit, like, I think he comes around this way. Some birds. Turkeys. Eagle. A couple of eagles there. I think those are eagles. Beetles. Eagles and now beetles. Those horned beetles. I know, it's so detailed. That's why I said, Button, to do a wash over. I'm gonna show you on the octopus in a minute. Oh wait, I got something from Denise. It may be a thing on the girls are down in Florida at cheer competition. Oh no, that's they're just playing around before the competition, it looks like. Swimming pool and all that. Bat, a bat and a spider web. Some rhinos, like this one, look, it's looking right at you. Some little mice. A turnip. Cows or longhorn steer. Speaking of longhorn steer, on all the girls down in San Antonio, I hope they're having a good time. Jen, our Australian lady, and her husband, who are taking a 2-month tour of the United States. They went from San Francisco to Vegas to Oklahoma to Dallas. Now they're down in San Antonio. Then I think they're going to Louisiana. And then I think they're going to Florida and then back up to see me. I think that's the plan. I mean, wait. No, I think they're going up to Tennessee in that first, because Jen's sister or somebody. I think they're going up to Tennessee and then back down to Florida, then back up through Atlanta. And then over into Virginia and on up the East Coast. I probably have that all wrong. Don't quote me. Don't email me. That means so much these days. Some ostriches. These are good. These are cute. Hey, Kenny. Who else have I missed? I'm sure there's a bunch of people popping in I'm missing. Thanks, everybody, for popping in. Just an impromptu Saturday, showing a couple of color books I ordered that came in today, and a little bit of a Hobby Lobby haul, and we'll see. As long as it doesn't turn out to be Gilligan's Island 3-hour tour. Gee. Some seahorses. See, there's a lot in this book, isn't there? Zebras. Ibis, maybe, or a heron. Heron. And some just random butterflies and beetles and flowers. And that's it. There's a lot in that. Manic Botanic, and there's the author and all. So I got that one. And then the last one I got was Myth and Magic, an enchanted fantasy coloring book. And it's by Kinuko Y Craft. I'm not sure. Anyway, there it is. Can't get any closer than that because it'll flash out. I don't have autofocus on. So this is the last one. Yes. Yeah, Janet and Jean are switching stream times on Monday because Jean's got something to do. That she's got a date. Jean's got a date Monday evening. So yeah. Okay, so this one, again, I haven't looked through it because I just got, this one's perforated, I think. No, maybe, no. No, it's just the way this first page is. It's not, wait, it is perforated. Is it perforated? It's semi-perforated. I can't, no, I don't think it is. I think that's just the dent from that first page. So, Myth and Magic, a coloring book by Kinuko, Kinuko Y Craft. Let's read this. Painting is my language, my poetry, my therapy, my meditation, my passion. It's everything. It is me. It is who I am. When I look at paintings created by the masters of the Italian Renaissance, I am filled with the presence of the artist, as if the artist's energy is still there, somehow captured in the pigment. The color and light dazzle and enchant me, propelling me to another time and place with a feeling of eternity. When I was invited to create a coloring book of line drawings, I was excited to share my work, yet felt the challenge of working without my beloved paint, the dazzling full spectrum of color and pure pigments. I longed to experience the tactile, sensual energy of direct contact between my hand, the paint, and the surface. I want to convey all the emotion of each illustration to its fullest expression. How could I achieve that without paint? Yet after creating the first few sketches, I delighted in the idea that you and I will craft a masterpiece together. So, please, lose yourself in stories of mythic beings, heroines, fairy princesses, and enchanted landscapes as you imbue each illustration with jewel-like tones or subtle hues to make it your own. My line compositions are an invitation for you to fall in love with color. Artists don't create as a gift to others. They create for themselves because it fulfills some inner need. So listen to your inner voice and tell your own version of those stories. My wish is that you will embrace your coloring journey and ignite your passion for color. And then he or she, could be a she. I'm not sure if Kinuko is a girl or a guy. You can look it up, you know. Just got the book today. Okay, so on the back side of every page is a little emblem here. I just took a peek to see. And so they're all different fairy tales. Or fantasy, I should say. Not necessarily fairy tales, but fantasies. There's a dragon, a princess, and some other creatures. And so see, it's a different little emblem on the backs of the pages. There's a mermaid with a bell. She's hugging a bell, and she's also got fairy wings. I don't know that I've ever seen a mermaid with fairy wings. Probably have, but it's just not coming to me. But isn't it, look at the borders and everything. So, Janet, isn't it so illuminated, alphabet, illuminated manuscript? And again, a different little emblem on this side. This is almost like Joan of Arc type warrior princess something. A fair maid. Is that a thing, Terry? Really? A fair maid instead of a fairy or a mermaid? Is it called a fair maid? I like it. Did you make that up, Terry, or is that a thing? And here's a little deer. Castles. A fair maid. I like that. You made it up? I gotta write that down. Terry Trouble, fair maid. I'm gonna put that on that page. And then here's an angel. Yes. Yeah, I guess you could spell F-A-E-R, Sarah. Yeah, F-A-E-R. Yeah. Isn't that cool? And then there's a little dragon over here. This reminds me like of a folk art rose malling type thing. And here's a girl holding like a crystal ball. Just kind of, there's so much detail. You can, if you really take your time to look at each one, right? This looks like another mermaid. And then there's a little shell. Every side of this side has a different emblem. This is a tiny one. This is a tiny one. And this is one that would be hard to do a complete wash on because you'd have so many different... Ooh, now this is kind of creepy. This is a half girl, half leopard. I'm not sure I like that one. Here's another. Now, see, it seems like it wants to be perforated, but it's not. A dragonfly winged fairy. Yes, I know, the tiny spaces. This is a tiny space one. But it was so... Oh, and there's titles on them. I didn't even see. Let's go back to the... She's got titles. This one's called Sunken City. The one with the bell there. Like this one's called Dream of Orchids. I didn't even notice the titles down there. And look what it has. Created or colored by. It has a place for you to sign your name. And then there's the title. And then there's the artist. Drawn by. And then there's the title. But look. Colored by. Isn't that cool? I don't know that I've seen that. Have y'all seen that on any color books? Colored by. This one's called Five Birds. Claire's Wings. Little girl with wings and her little dog. Sitting on a little island in a pond, in the middle of a pond. Isn't that smart? Unicorn. Oh, see, it is perforated. Okay, they're just so... That's a tight perf. It's such a nice perforation because, you know, when they're really open-spaced perforation, they tear real easily. But I just accidentally kind of pulled up on it, and it started to tear. So it is perforated. But it's such a tight perforation, you can barely see it. This one is called Byzantine Sanctuary. See, now I should go back and read all the titles. For Beloved Wolf 832F. That's the title, 832F. That must be, okay, if it's For Beloved Wolf 832F, that must be a person. That must be their, I bet we could find them on Instagram or Twitter. Just saying. Yeah, I do like that color by. Isn't that cool? And it's one-sided, so if you wanted to tear them out and frame them or put them in, like I would, in sleeves, you know, in your page protector sleeves. Titania and Fish. Guardian, and then there's a big like world right there. I know, aren't they cool, guys? Ancient Orient. See, I started pulling up right there and tearing it out. Beauty and the Beast. There you go, Jean. Jean's gonna go see that. Yeah. Oh, look at this one. I love her hair. This one's called Winter Rose. Look at that hair, guys. Oh my gosh. Don't you just want to color? Oh, 832F is Yellowstone's most famous wolf. He died. Oh, Jean, I did not know that. I got to write that down. 832F, Yellowstone's most famous wolf. Oh, Jean, thank you. Wolf who died. Thanks, Jean. No idea. I've been to Yellowstone, but this was like back in the 80s. I don't think that wolf was there then. So, let's see. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, she had a GPS collar. Oh, is that the one that got shot? Okay, I did not know that that was the... I mean, I've heard of that story, what happened, but I didn't know that was this wolf. Well, there's like a memorial to that wolf. It was a female. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Jean. I did not know that. Still Life. Night Song. And there's a little row of little fairies with their candles. Starry Night, another mermaid page. Female. Okay, female. Okay, thanks, Jean. Dragonflies. And it's a dragon with dragonfly wings. See, that's the kind of thing we like to do. We like to do those combo things. Neptune's Daughter. That one's very cool. Isn't that cool, guys? Just holding a little dragon. The Griffin and Angel. Dragon Phoenix and Flying Lizard. Beloved. Sort of little unicorn and like a butterfly fairy. This reminds me of that tapestry. Leslie's Feather Tree. Chinese Angel. So pretty. Mask. Snow Sprite. Flora. I think this is the last one. Those eyes will be fun to do. I think that's it. Yeah, the end. Isn't that neat? It is a little detailed. It would be a tricky one. But so was this one that I showed. So these were the three I got in the mail today. Okay. And then this one right here, I wanted to show you how you could take something, as long as it's all like one thing. This book right here that I just showed it's multiple things. You know, you can't just do like one big wash over the whole thing. But something like this Pedro octopus here, you could. So what I wanted to show you, and then I'm going to show you my Hobby Lobby haul. It's getting a little dark in here. Let's take a little dioxazine purple. And I'm going to water it down. See, it got dark, but I don't want to flash it out. So I think I'd rather have it a little on the dark side here so it doesn't flash out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of paint, okay, and water. Just going to take my spray bottle here. Water this down. I should get out one of my new paint brushes, but I'll wait. Let's see. Whoa, almost knocked my lamp over. Let's see if I got enough water there, because I want this to be very, very watery. It has to be, you have to water down your acrylic paint enough to make it translucent. Or just use watercolor. But the thing about acrylic paints is it gives your pencil tooth. I mean, gives a paper tooth for your pencil to stick to or to work on top of. Okay, so let's just make sure that's thin enough. Yeah, it's thin enough. Now, it will buckle your paper some. I expect it. So I don't freak out about it, but if you don't like your paper to buckle at all, just be aware, you know, it will buckle your page. So what I'm going to do here, though, is I can cover the whole, this is all one big octopus, right? Need a little bit more water. And I'm going to just do the whole background. Now, I'm not scrubbing it. Do one coat. Like, see how I'm just kind of putting the brush like real quick along? If you start scrubbing it, you're going to go through the book. Oh, and I should have put something behind it just to make sure. Hang on. Because this is thin. But it's usually not, it's not the paint that goes through, it's the water. So what I'm trying to say is, don't be rubbing and scrubbing because you'll put a hole through your paper. So you got a little thinner right there. That's okay. So then you can get a watercolor look. You just got to make sure you keep it thin enough so you can still see your lines. And I don't care if it goes out, because when I do these kind of pages, I cut out. I'll cut like right along that edge and then mount it on black paper. Yeah, I know. Yeah, thanks, Terry. Put something behind that page. I know. I just thought of it at the last minute. This could just use a little bit more. Now, if you do want it darker, then you want to dry it in between. You also have to dry it completely before you start doing any color pencil. But this is how you can start on it. Okay. Let's see if my heat gun's still working. Come on, baby, one more time. There it goes. Remember last week it quit working there for a minute. Night, Dragonfly, sleep well. So it did get a little dark and it's cloudy out, but I didn't want the white paper to flash out, so I'm leaving it a little darker in here without all my 5 lamps on. So real quick now, I'm just going to do a quick little demo. We'll color it in better later. Let me see here. Grab a couple of pencils. See which one of these I want. Okay, let me sharpen this white. And see which, probably the lightest one, because that's too much the same. All right, so now what you can do, let me sharpen this one too, is you can get in here now and start coloring and adding detail. And you already have a nice base to work with. And then let's say we want to go white around those little suckers. And we'll shade under them. I'm just going to do this one little section here. Probably can barely see because I'm not zoomed in or anything. And now I'm going to take my dark purple. Just so you can see that you can work on top of an acrylic base so much quicker than trying to do this all from scratch with pencil. Okay, I'm going to take the lighter just to do a little blending. Missed a spot right here. Could almost get just a little bit darker in there. Well, can't show you too much. There. See? Can y'all even see that? Right in here where we did all the coloring. So you can go from like this to that quickly. Hey, Lindare. Hi, Natalie. Anybody else popping in? And see, that doesn't take that long. That didn't take that long just to do that one little tentacle like that. See? Yeah. So that's how you can take a wash over a whole page when it's something that you can do that with. Like here, here's frogs. I could do the same thing with that, all green. Paint that all green, even practically all this. And then go in, if you want a little blue sky, just go in there with blue pencil on top of the light green. See? So you can, this is the kind of book that kind of thing will work on. Again, you could do this all yellow, green around the edges, green down here, and then just do the bird different, you know. So, in other words, it doesn't have to be just necessarily one color, but you can get big areas done. Jean Green! You can get big areas done with a wash. Okay, and then just go back in there, and even if you want even brighter white, you could get your Posca. And, you know, get in there with that. Hang on, I'll just do a little bit right here just so you can see. And Orla did send me some Poscas for my birthday. I have used a couple of in a brown. There's some good colors. I haven't really perfected them yet, but I have used them. So you can see, you can get in there. It got a little messy, but you can just go in there and fix it. So yeah, isn't that cool? This book right here, Kim, is Manic Botanic, and I did a flip of it and I did record it. So that one, this one, and this one I ordered, I think, well, about a week and a half ago or something. And yeah, so I got these 3 in today, and I'm expecting Mythmorphia and my Hoo Hoo Hero markers on April 11th, because me bundled that free shipping. Don't say anything, Janet. Okay, so now let me show you what I got. Oh, this, I don't know if I ever showed you this. I was just using it to prop up, but let me show you this. This is a cool little book. I think I got it last week, maybe. I don't think I showed it to you. But it's for me, this isn't a how to draw book. These kind of books, and there's a whole bunch of those how to draw 1,000, or I think it's 50 or 100 flowers, how to draw 100 plants, how to draw, you know, there's all these kind. To me, these kind are not, for me, instructional videos on how to draw things are great for kids. I even said, hey, Cam, after I look at this, do you want it? He went, no. It's even too simple. It's a very, very simple book. What I liked about it were the ideas, okay, not the how-to. But if you really want to just like learn how to draw, say, a penguin from a line, see, it does show you kind of a little step by step. But they're very simplistic, almost childlike. Nothing wrong with that. I love it. Drawings. Uh-oh, there's a flamingo. Sorry. Eileen's going to watch this recording and go, what the? That's 3 times you've shown flamingos in one show. You have this book, Natalie? So, you know, for me, I don't do step by steps like this when I'm drawing. I draw the shape and go from there. But, you know, it's just, there's so much in it, right? It's just lots of ideas. Food, and it's broke out by categories. Let me tell you the categories. They have, of course, getting started, your materials and all that. Then I have a section on animals, people, plants, foods, around the house, architecture and sites, vehicles, and seasons. And so it's just really, you know, there's the materials. See, it starts with the animals. I think they said, then it goes underwater and different, you know, flying ones, bugs, dinosaurs. Then it gets into people. It has expressions, clothes, occupations. I just saw this at Books A Million I think it was last week, and I said, oh, it's just too cute. I have to have it. So, and when you have coupons and a sale, 20% off, you know, a purchase or something, you know, you got to get it, right? So, yeah, it would be great for a classroom. But anyway, like I said, I got it for all the ideas. Because you know how we like to do our mixed combination things? And our lists and everything? This would be a good one to add to your list. To your lists of whatever, things. But anyway, everyday events. You know? Just, I don't know. Challenge. You can do a date book. Of course, you know I'm not going to do all that. Weather. Zodiacs. Animal alphabet. And here, like this. I think I have one of these. 20 ways. It's not to draw a cat, but it's like maybe plants or something. 20 ways to draw a plant, draw flowers. And it's not just flowers though. There's plants and all kinds of things in it. But they're really inspirational to me. Again, I'm not like tutorialing these. You know, I'm not doing a step out on these, but just the ideas in them. I thought this was, anyway, I'm just using that to prop up my stuff. All right, so what I got at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, if you go to look for this book, also look, and there are different artists do that. This one's Chika Miyata, but there's different artists that do the 20s, the 20 ways to draw things. There's a couple different artists that do that. So, yeah. You have the tree one, Terry? Yeah. They're very inspirational. Whether you even just start with the basic, like, you know, you could just start with something and then expand on it. All right, so Hobby Lobby, clearance and sales. So all their single brushes by Master's Touch, that's the Hobby Lobby brand, were 50% off. So I'm going to unbox them here with you as well. They're all 50% off. Now, Master's Touch, I usually don't buy many of these because for when I use my acrylics and stuff, you know, I'm hard on my brushes. I usually buy the craft brushes, which I'm going to show you. I bought some of those too. But I just buy, you know, craft brushes. And usually I like the plastic handle ones because they'll never, you know, wood ones can chip. Yeah, Jean likes brushes. She just got into watercolor recently, and so now none of these are very expensive, Jean. And I did not buy watercolor brushes. These are just mixed media, general, you know, and that's usually what I buy. The white synthetic ones, they last a good while, but I'm rough on them. Look, I don't know if you can see that. Look how flared out that is. That's a flat angled brush. See? But for what I do with them, I'm not very rarely, and I do have nice brushes if I ever want to do oil painting. I have some nice watercolor brushes. I don't use those for when I'm doing my color books, and you saw me slosh on that wash of purple paint. That's all these kind of brushes. Occasionally, I'll get a Master's Touch when I want a liner brush. Like this. Okay, so I have a couple. These are Master Touches. They're wood. They're nice, but they're nicely coated with a varnish, so they're not going to peel apart, right? Did you manage to get? No, I looked at the stickles. They had the packs of Christmas colors and stuff like that, so I didn't get them. I didn't get the stickles. But these, I love. These are my favorite liner brushes. Look how long that is. See how long those bristles are? And these are the Master's Touch. Now, because I have 4 or 5 of these that are still fine, I did not buy any new liner brushes, but they were all 50% off. And I think today's the last day, and they're closed on Sunday. So anyway, this is the first time I've been to Hobby Lobby all week. Or in a, let's see, how do I get them out of the little, okay, I got to get some scissors. I think they have a little thing to tear on the back, but I'll just rip it with the scissors. I haven't been for probably 2 weeks to Hobby Lobby. I went to Michael's about a week and a half ago, maybe. So, yeah. So I bought 3 of them. I'll tell you the prices and which ones I got. So this, and like I said, all the Master Touches are 50% off. So yeah, yeah, Jean's laughing at me. You haven't been all week. So this one is normally $7.99. So I got it for $4. And they're nice, guys. You know, you really, this would be a nice watercolor one. It's very soft hair. You know, knowing me, though, I'll probably plop it in some acrylic because I didn't pay a lot for it. But if you pay a lot for your brushes, don't be rough on them like I am with acrylics. So there's this little angle brush. See how nice and sharp that is? Ooh, love me a new angle brush. Just saying. Look at that sharp. Sharp, sharp, sharp. So that one's normally, I think that was the most expensive of the 3. That one was $8. This one was $4.99, so this one was $2.50. I'm just trying to get the little plastic off the back, and then it has a little piece of double stick tape that's holding it on this. I think $1 of it's probably packaging. Okay, so see, it's got a little piece of double stick tape to hold it to the packaging. So this one is just a round. It's just a, what number is it? It's a number 2 round. So again, nice for getting in little tight places. But these Master Touches are nice. These are nice brushes. Okay. Then the last one that I got here was normally $4.59. Again, 50% off. And get the sticky off. And the thin ones like this one, that's a kind of a liner. They come with the plastic on them. Of course, I never keep them on there. So, and then you got to wet them to get the sizing off. They have a sizing on them. Make sure. I can't stress this enough. Make sure you wash that sizing off, and most nice brushes have that sizing in them. So when you feel the brushes, they go, oh, that's so stiff. They have a sizing on them. You got to wash that off, and make sure you wash that off before you dip it in the paint. Just saying. Wash that sizing off. Now, if you're a watercolorist, you probably would do that anyway, but you want to get all that sizing off so they're not stiff anymore. Now, it's still springy, but it's not, you know, all the hairs aren't stuck together. And this one was a script, a number 1 script liner. Okay. So those are the 3 brushes I got. Again, 50% off each. And we're going to throw them right in here because we're going to use them. The other brushes I got, wait for it. No, I think I'll wait till the... Yeah, I'll go ahead and show you now. I'm so bad, aren't I? Okay, so then I got some more brushes. This one I used my 40% off coupon on because this pack, and again, this is probably the most that I've ever spent on a pack of brushes. Okay, and it's because I'd never seen this pack before. So it's $24.99 for the whole pack of brushes, but I used a 40% off coupon, so I got it for like $14.99, something like that. Bam! Because I love me some white acrylic, the white, you know, the white, the acrylic. What? No, white Talcon. White, they're acrylic. So anyway, again, it's good for watercolor, acrylic. You know, it's not really for like oil painting or anything. But these are the kind of brushes I use all the time in my acrylic work. I know, right? So let's just take a moment to pet, because I throw the packaging away. Take it out of the package and throw the packaging away. So I got all these for like 14 bucks, something like that. All right, so let's see. Oh, it's got a zipper pouch. Looky this. Oh, wait, you got to cut that because it won't let you do the slide. It's got like the Ziploc bag. I just pulled it apart, so it doesn't matter because it's all going in the trash anyway. So let's see about getting it out of there. Okay, let's just do this because I'm not saving that bag. I'm going to get... All right, so I'm taking out the bag. Let's take each one out. Langnickel have good, but yes, they do. They're decent brushes. I'm telling you, Royal Langnickel has decent brushes, and they're those springy white acrylic stuff. You know, and they're just excellent for acrylic. Love. I know, Debbie, right? They're springy. That's why I like them for my acrylic. All right, so let's see what we can do here to take all these out. I'll tell you I'll try to keep them in order so I can tell you the sizes. We'll go through them one by one. This way you can see what the different kinds of brushes are if you don't already know, because I think they've got pretty much all of them in here. I don't know. I don't see... Yeah, I see a filbert. Okay. Anyway. I know. I love the springiness, too. You know? Okay. This one is... Let's see if I can... all right. This is just a 2.5 angular. Okay? Now, when I do house painting, like when I paint... When we moved into this house, how many rooms? 1, 2, 3... So we got the great room, the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the hall, or I should say the entryway, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. I painted this whole house in a week, top to bottom, inside, every wall, well, except going up the stairs because I couldn't reach the top of the stairs up there. That's the only place that has not been painted in this house. And most of all of the, not this brand. I mean, I had a Purdy, a P-U-R-D-Y. The Purdy is the best brand for cutting in and baseboards, but it's like this shape like this. So anyway, anyway, do you what? Nylon! Thank you, Jean! Thank you! Jean, thank you! Jean saved me. Nylon brushes! I kept wanting to say acrylic. Nylon brushes. Thank you, Sassy Pants. Anyway, so a little bit bigger than this, about 1 inch wide, maybe 1.5 inches. Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y, the best cutting in and baseboard brushes there are. Anyway, that's what this one reminds me of. Because see how you can get a nice, look at that. There's not a straight line you couldn't make with that bad boy. Just saying. Thank you, Jean. Nylon. I got to write that down because I know I'll forget that again. Nylon brushes. Oh. See, sometimes a word just slips your mind. Oh, no, this is just a cutting in. Then I do the rollers on the wall. Yeah, nylon brushes. Thanks, Jean. And I'm going to give you full credit for that. Yeah, no, the cutting in. You know, along the edges, in the corners, along the top, and then you do the rolling. Yes, Purdy's are the best, aren't they? Anyway, these are not Purdy's. These are Royal Langnickel. These are for painting, on a painting, not on the wall. All right, the next one is a 1.5 inch flat. That's just called a 1.5 inch flat. Nylon bristle brush. It's age. Go with it. Janet goes, it's age, Dee Dee. Go with it. This one is a 3/4 flat. again, these are not things I'm going to use. They were just, it looks so cool, didn't it? With all of them in there. So I got the set, you know. Yeah. I have other ones this size that I still haven't used. I got hake brushes, and I never use, because I don't do oil painting, and I just don't use them, you know. I very rarely do a canvas painting. Although I'll show you something I bought here in a minute. It's not canvas, but... All right, so let's go through. Let's start with the biggest ones. Okay. Again, look, I want to show you how stiff these are. Look. Now listen, listen. Hear it crunch? That's because there's sizing in there. You have to wash that sizing out. Couldn't see how did the entire house with the brush in a week. Yeah, no, Palm. No, I didn't paint the whole house with a brush in a week. I got my builder's, I think it's a 10-foot ladder, 12-foot ladder, his tall ladder, because there's a couple rooms in my house that have 15 feet ceilings. So, and I'm not afraid of, I don't like to fly, but I'm not afraid of heights. I'll climb up on the top of a ladder and balance on 1 foot in a heartbeat. Climb up on a roof, any of that. That kind of height doesn't bother me. So, anyway, no, I rolled the walls after I cut in. Okay, let's carry on here. All right, let's see. This is number 24, filbert, a 24, and the filberts are the rounded. See how that's rounded? It's not an angle, and it's not squared off. Like this is a flat, and that's a filbert. Okay? Yeah, when you get a brush and it's stiff, you got to wash that sizing out. You may want to, oh, my audio's loud. Oh, thanks, Jean. Sorry. Just now somebody's telling me an hour and 10 minutes in. Okay, I turned it down. Is that better, Jean? Because I get excited and I get loud. You never heard about sizing? Yeah. So when you get your brushes, thanks, Jean. When you get your brushes and they're all, the hairs feel like they're glued together, it's because they have sizing in them. Okay. So anyway, this is a number 24 filbert. This one is, see, look, I can't even push on it. See how? So now let me wet it and get the sizing out. Okay. So now it's, you know, flexible and soft. Okay, you got to get that sizing out. This is a number 22 angle. They call it angular, but an angle. Okay. And if after you're done, this is the best way to help your brushes too. Now, I know there's soap. There's special like what, you know, soap, bars of soap for your brushes. I gotta say, guys, I just use whatever bar of soap I have handy. Probably not the best thing, and I am more careful with my sable oils and all that stuff, you know. Of course, you don't use water and soap for those. Unless you're using water-soluble oils, which when I was doing oils, I was not using water-soluble oils. I was using oils. Oils? Oils. I was using oils. Anyway, when you're done, if you want to keep that nice crispness, if you take your wet brush, clean it out, clean it really well, and then just take your, like, let's just say this is your bar of soap. You take your bar of soap and just run it over your bar of soap, and then flatten it out and let it dry, okay? And it'll be nice and sharp and crisp. Now make sure you wash that soap out before you go, you know, rinse. Always start with the wet brush. If you get in the habit of wetting your brush, even if you damp out all the excess water, get your brush wet so that you're not just putting acrylic paint on your dry bristles. That is terrible for your brushes. Dry, you know, I mean, acrylic paint, just dipping a dry brush into it. Even if you want to dry, what's called dry brushing, you still want to get your bristles wet, pat it out, squeeze it out, whatever you want to do, but have the bristles cold to the touch. You know, so that they're wet. It's wet. And then you can still do a dry brush technique, even with damp bristles. But that's what I do with my brushes when I take the time to do it. When I go in the, you know, at the sink and clean out most of the time, I just use this. Here's my, let me just move this. Here's my, This is what I usually use to clean out my brushes right there. As you can see, usually there's one side that's dirtier than the other because I'll clean out here, rinse out here, and then I keep a paper towel right underneath like this. So when I clean a brush, this is why I'm hard on my brushes. I do this. Clean it out, rinse it off, and then damp it off like this, okay? And I do that every time I clean a brush. Now, if after I did all that at the end of the day, if I would take this and do the soap thing and get a thing of soap and smash it out, my brushes would last a lot longer. Although I gotta say, Darcy Glam, when she was here, she said, oh my gosh, how do you keep your brushes so clean? They'll stain. I mean, like this was a white, that was a white bristle at one point. They stain, you know, they'll stain. But they should still, like, look, see how it's green? It's clean though, right? Okay, let's move along. I think we did that one. Okay, so the next one, again, see how stiff that is? Look, I can't even bend it. Now you could uncrunch it with just your fingers, but it's best. It's best if you put it in water and kind of swish off that sizing. Hey, Bonnie. Okay, so let's see. Let me dry that off. All right, so this one is a number 20 flat. Okay. I won't clean them all because it'll take too long. This one is a number 18 flat, a number 16 flat. Let's go to the flats here. Wait, this one I think is bigger. Well, maybe they're the same. Let's see. Do I get two of those? I don't know. A number 10, a 10 flat, a 10 flat. So it gave me two 10 flats. I'm trying to see if there's any other duplicates here. There might be on some of these tiny ones. All right, then this is a number 16 filbert. This is a number 14 angular. I just call it angles, but angular. Here is a number 12 round, and the rounds are like literally round. They're round brushes and pointy like this. Again, see how stiff that is? It's because there's sizing in it. See, I can't even bend it without getting it wet. So let me get that one wet, get all the sizing out of it. Okay, so see how it's a round brush? I don't know. It's completely round and pointy. Yes, it is a nice selection, isn't it? Okay, there's something on that one. What is it? I can feel it. There's a little something on there. I don't think I picked it up in the water. There's a little, maybe it's just a little more sizing I need to rinse out. Okay. Then we have a number 8 filbert. Again, the filberts are kind of, you know, they're not flat. They're, well, let me get the big one here, like this. See how they're rounded? It's not a round, though. A round is where the ferrule is round. These are like, you know, smashed, sort of. These are filberts. If there's a really good variety of brushes, there are not many big round brushes. Yeah, yeah. This is the only big round one in here. There's a couple other rounds, but yeah, let's see what size. Okay, this is a number 4 angular. These are my favorite brushes, and probably a number 4 would probably be my closest to my very favorite, because it's small enough but big enough to do what I do with them. You know, mixed media, art journaling, color booking. And the thing about them is, so you can have a nice, you can get a flat, you can get a straight line, and you can get a dot, all in one brush. It's the versatileness of this brush. Okay, then we got a couple other ones here. This is a number 6 flat, a number 4. This is a short angular. It's a bright. Yeah, a bright. It's the brights are shorter. Okay, this one is, and my Badger Hair Bright was my favorite oil painting brush, just saying. Badger Hair. Number 2, 2 flat. Okay, and then we got a bunch of smaller ones here. There might be a couple similar. This is a round. This is a number 5 round. Then the next one down is a number 3 round. Then we have a number 2 shader. This is called a shader. I don't know what the difference between this shader and a filbert is, because it's the same shape as a filbert, but they're calling it a shader. Then let's see, a number 1 round, a number, just getting hard to see here. I need to turn on another light. Why can't I even see that? Oh, it's a half, that's why. It's a half detail. It's a detail brush. It's a detail. Yeah, see, I don't name them those kind of things. Another detail. That's a zero detail, and a, what's this last one here? I guess I could just look at the box. This is a quarter detail. So yeah, some detail brushes. So all that, all those in there, and again, it was the White Talon, Talcon Royal Langnickel. I don't know about this. Royal Langnickel nylon. Thank you, Jean. All of these were in that pack. How many were there? Did it say? I didn't even count. 25. 25 brushes for $25, but I had a 40% off coupon. So I got them all for about 15 bucks. Yay me. And they're all not going to fit in this jar, because this jar is already, these are the ones I'm currently using. I've got like 5 jars like this in a big box, and my rolls of brushes. These are just the ones I'm using right now. So anyway, these will have to have their own jar. I'm going to have to find a jar just for these babies. That's a heck of a deal, right? Do I have a jar handy? I love these little mason jars, but I think they're all full of things. So I'll just set them to the side for now until I find another jar for those. Okay. Then at Hobby Lobby, these 2 archival ink pads were on sale for $3.59, regularly $6. They're normally $5.99. This one's a Wendy Vecchi, and this one's at the Ranger. They're both made by Ranger, but you know, Wendy Vecchi is the designer series. But it was cornflower blue. I've not ever had a cornflower blue. I was excited about this. Let's bust them open. I have black archival ink. I love my black archival inks. And so anyway, you know, for half price, I get the brown and a cornflower blue. So let's bust these babies open. Yeah, these are in store. Yeah, these were at my Hobby Lobby. Now, if they're dried out, they'll be going back. I actually have never, I have to say, guys, in all the years of buying ink pads, knock on wood, click, 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 I have never had a ink pad that was dried out when I bought it. Just saying, never have. Let me move this book out of the way. All right, so let's find a piece of cardstock. Oh, wait, what else did I buy? Oh, I'm not going to test the ink on this, but I want to show you this. This was some illustration art boards. There's only 10 in here, normally $20, on clearance, $11.99. So I could not pass up these art boards. Don't ask me yet what I'm going to do on them. But they're thick. They're like matte, like a frame, like mats. Like, you know, you frame your mats, but it's even almost a little thicker than that. So let me pull one out of the. See, I'll probably have to get an X-Acto knife. I don't know if I can do it with a scissors. So let's see. I want to cut one out. I want to just take one out. There we go. All right. So let's do a little examination of these illustration boards. So anyway, I have, now Hobby Lobby used to sell leftover mat board, okay? Like if they cut the centers out of a mat, and I have them around here somewhere, but they have texture, right? Usually. And then usually the back side is smooth. If you've ever seen a mat, you know, like you frame something with a mat, y'all know what I'm talking about. One side usually has a texture. Sometimes they're smooth, but they usually have a texture. And the back side of those mats are usually smooth. And Hobby Lobby used to sell them in bundles, like 5x7, 8x10. I don't know if they went, and 12x12. And they would sell like a stack this big for like, I don't even remember, 5, 7, 8. I don't remember because it's been some years since they had them. But when they were, I'd get them all the time with a 40% coupon. So I'd buy stacks of mat board for nothing, and then they quit selling it. So somehow I think they got wind that they were onto something with that stuff. And quit selling it because it was just in bulk. Like they just had it like shrink wrapped. It wasn't even like packaged in like, you know, any kind of brand or anything. Yeah, well, yeah, some of it, they're kind of well, they're not really these are not canvas at all, Jean. These are smooth. And the mat board that you frame things with, some are textured and some are smooth, right? But what they were selling was like the insides. Like they'd cut a mat, right? And the centers. They'd have stacks of them for sale. Just shrink wrapped for like $5, $8. You know, probably the 12x12 ones were maybe $8 for like 50. I mean, I'm talking stacks. And yeah, so yeah, but they could have recycled them and sold them to us, Subin. So, and Subin, are you the Subin that I follow on Instagram that makes those dolls? I wanted to shout you out if you're the same Subin. Are you the Subin that makes those dolls? Because I got to show that. Let me find that picture. Tell me if you're that Subin, because these are awesome, and I wanted to shout you out if this is you. Let's see. I saved one of your pictures. No, I'm thinking that's a Sue. Are you Sue B? Okay, Subin here. Are you Sue B on Instagram? I'm still going to show the picture whether it's you or not, but yeah. But it's Sue B on Instagram. And there's a lag. I have to wait for it to catch up. Hey, Vicky. So anyway, these are smooth. These are really smooth. It's, you know, it's not textured at all, Jean. I don't know how well, I'm sure they'd work with watercolor. I've never used this particular Canson illustration board. And the only reason I bought it was because it was half price. I wouldn't have bought it for $20. So, but because they were, you know, $12, okay, $12. No, you didn't make it. Okay, well then let me show you these. This is Sue B. This is Sue B on Instagram. If y'all want to go find her, look at these dolls. And I thought, is that our Subin? But it's somebody else. But look at these little dolls. Yeah, that's Sue B, B-E-E on Instagram. Aren't those cute as little buttons? Right, buttonatic? Okay, so I just wanted to shout that out because I wasn't sure if it was you. Okay, so anyway, these are perfectly smooth. I've been streaming an hour and a half, Vicki, and I am recording. It's Color Book and haul. This is my right now. This is my Hobby Lobby haul. Yeah, I'm sorry, Vicki. Aren't those cool? So anyway, it's 10 of them, and see how thick they are. They're thick like your mat board. It's like it's heavier than, or at least as heavy as our chipboard. Really, it's even heavier, and they're real sturdy. They're real stiff. Okay, they're made to not buckle, right? So I'm sure you could use water on them. Ink, marker, pencil is what they're saying. So, you know, watercolor, maybe, you know. I mean, I don't know how much water it would take without pilling, but it's Canson. Yeah, so I got these. Now, I do have my cheap mat boards, like literally the kind that you mat paintings with. Stacks of them put away somewhere. I hate to say it, I cannot find them. They are probably in my shipping closet, where where I store my packing stuff. So I'm thinking they may be in there. You can get these from Amazon? Okay. You would have to put a ground on it for watercolor, Jean is saying. Yeah. Well, what I'll probably do, maybe on Monday, Jean, is I will take one and we'll do experiments on one. We'll do some water, we'll do some marker, we'll do some pens, we'll use one for a test sheet, okay? So again, they're Canson, maybe that's some of the same kind of thing they use for matting. Some of because the mat boards that you buy in those bundles were all different ones. You'd have a black one, a brown one, a green one, some pink, white, but I used the backs of them, and they didn't have Canson on the back. And you could use the backs of almost all of them were white. So all you have to do, even if this was textured in those bundles of matte pieces, just turn it over and you got a white board. You see? Yeah. So if you're ever at a frame shop or even Hobby Lobby, I don't know, maybe your Hobby Lobby will still sell them. Check and see. Mine quit maybe a year ago, maybe a little longer, because I haven't checked for a while because they said they stopped at my Hobby Lobby. So I don't know. But you could always just buy mat board. You can buy pieces of mat board. You could buy a big, 40 by 60 piece of mat board and have them cut it down for you. A huge piece of mat board's probably under $10, and you could get like maybe 6 out of this, 6 of these out of a big sheet of mat board, and you could get off-white, white, or ask them if they have any scraps, to play with. But anyway, again, the only reason I bought these is because they were on sale for half price. So for $12, 10 pieces, $1, I'm paying like $1.10 for each one of these. I figured, yeah. So that's what I got at Hobby Lobby. Now let's go back to our 2 ink pads. Here, Vicki, we just went through this. I bought these, Vicki. I just showed each and every one of these, Vicki. You missed it. Okay, so let me get a piece of just cardstock to test this out on. I never can find a piece of anything when I need it. Here we go. All right, here. And here's a piece of something we use for something. All right. Let's see. Let me just find a stamp here. Do I want this one? Here, so let's try one of my hand carved. Here's one of my hand carved stamps. I haven't carved any stamps in a while either. Okay, this is I never can say his name. Hieronymus Bosch. The guy that did the Garden of Delights paintings back in the... I can't say his name. Don't make me. Okay, I have to think about it. I can say it. Okay, so here's the brown one. So let's just... Ooh, it's nice and juicy. Let's just juice him up here. And usually it takes 2... I'll stamp this big. It'll usually take 2 prints to get it completely juiced up. So let's just make sure. Hieronymus, is that right? Hieronymus. I know someone's going to message me in the comments on YouTube. Hieronymus. Okay, let's go on this. All right, so let's just test. And I think this, well, you know what? Where's my stamp pad thing? Here. Let's do it correctly so Rach0113 doesn't yell at me. I got my old stamping mat here. All right, now it's probably a little dry. Character in the Michael Connelly. Oh, that's also a character in your Michael Connelly novels, Jean? I don't think I've read a Michael Connelly. Although Jan, uh, Quail Hill Jan, she knows how much I love Cadfael. And she, even when she went to uh, overseas and got, let's see if I can print this. Hang on, let me concentrate a minute. I'm going to stand up and put some pressure on it. Got me Cadfael, went to the monasteries and places that were based on Cadfael. She told me about another series I'm going to look into in the same time frame as Cadfael, but it's a nun. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah. It's kind of a red. It's kind of a plum. It's plum. It's not brown. I just went by this. It's plum, which is fine. I don't have a plum one either. So there we go. So he was named after the artist. Okay. All right, Jean. I didn't know that, but I bet I'd like those books. I bet I'd like anybody named after him. I'd probably like those mysteries, Jean. I need to probably write that down. Okay, so there he is in Plum, Mr. Plum. Or is that Mrs. Plum in the conservatory? Okay, now I'm going to get a baby wipe to get the excess ink off there. Am I saying it right, Jean? Hieronymus? Hieronymus, I think. Hieronymus. I think I'm saying that right. And it's a permanent ink, so it's, once it dries, I don't care if they stain. I still have some wet here, but these are permanent, so once they're dry, it's, won't go anywhere. Just like that's why he's black ink, because I've used him so much with black ink. Hieronymus. With the candles, yeah. Well, yeah, it says plum on there, which I didn't even pay attention to when I bought it. See, it looks brown, right? Doesn't that look brown? Same author as a Lincoln Lawyer. Great. Oh, what was the name of Jean again? Tell me the name of the, because it's scrolled off. What was the name of the author again? I'll write it down. Yeah, but his first name, Hieronymus. I think I've got it now. Hieronymus? Hieronymus? Okay. Everybody's correcting me phonetically. I'm getting the phonetics of it in there now. And I have studied his symbology. I have charts and lists and drawings of all his symbology in his paintings. Michael Connolly, okay. With 2 N's. Thanks, Jean. But the one that, what do you call it, Jan, and how I remember it is because Ellis Peters is the woman that wrote Cadfael. Well, the man that wrote this series, Sister, and I have it written down, just look for Peter Ellis. Instead of Ellis Peters, who wrote Cadfael. So I'm not sure if Peter Ellis is his real name. Maybe. I mean, that's what he is if you search him. But he wrote a series on Sister, and I can't remember who it is. But it's about a nun. It's in the same time period as Cadfael. Thank you, Terry Trouble. All right, so now let's do the blue, and then we're going to do black. Just call him Ron. Vicky said just call him Ron. Anyway, if you have not seen his art, it's all kinds of symbology. Anyway, all right, moving on. Let's go with the Cornflower Blue Wendy Vecchi Ranger Archival Ink Pad. Okay, so here we go. Let's look at the Cornflower Blue. Okay, why is it a little loose? Okay, for some reason it's loose in there. Okay, it's loose. Like it needs to be glued down. Well, let's take that off and look under there. It looks like, I was wondering if it was double-sided tape, but it just needs to be glued down. So I'm going to just take my Aleene's Tacky, and let's make sure this is glued down really well. Now, of course, it's not going to stay glued. I mean, it's not going to dry right this second. But I want that, I don't want it moving. I don't want it moving when I'm trying to use it. Now, let's see if I can still, maybe I'll go this way now. That'll put some pressure on where I glued it too, right? But it was kind of shifting. Let's see if I can get the whole thing here. I'm looking at it now. Don't email me if I don't get this one stamped well. Anyway, I hand carved this guy. I hand carved Ronnie when I was studying all his symbology. Okay, let me stand up and put some pressure. Harry. Yeah, so that's a pretty cornflower blue. There's a couple little bit of purple still in there. But that's a pretty cornflower blue, isn't it? That's nice. I like it. It's now that I've, really smashed down the glue underneath, it's probably good to go. Cornflower blue. And anyway, I got these for $3.25, regularly $6. So, yeah. I don't have either one of those colors, especially plum. I thought I was buying brown, but I got plum. Mr. Plum and Miss Cornflower in the library, in the conservatory. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Jean recommends. Okay. All right. Now let's do him in black. So, going to my black. Now, this may be dried out because I have not used this. No, it's still working. I haven't used this in wow, months. But it still looks like it's good. And what I'm doing is kind of stamp and just giving it a little bit of a twist, just a little bit, like kind of getting the juice out of the stamp pad, kind of. I probably should have cleaned that off, shouldn't I have? Oh well. Yeah, so let's go here. Again, I'm going to stand up and put some weight on it. Look, Vicki, I even got out the stamp pad. Rach would be proud of me. Okay, and that's how I usually stamp it in black, right? Oh no, I made him jiggly. I gave him a little, wave. We need to redo that. Okay, let's redo him. Wait, I gotta find another piece of paper. See, Rach would not be proud of me. All right, here's another. Because I made him googly-eyed. I made him a little shaky. Well, not shaky, wavy. I can't be moving around when I stamp him. Or you can do this too. Let's try it this way. I'm going to put it on here and just gently rub. Let's see if I get a better impression. Yeah, let's see if this, because this is a large stamp. The larger ones are a little, hey Marilyn, the larger ones, and I think I shifted it again. I think I felt it shift. We'll see. His vision is blurred. Yeah, let's see. There we go. That's better. See the difference between the two? See what a good imprint makes? Ron was having a party, his vision blurred. Oh my gosh, Vicki. So anyway, when I usually use my archival black ink, like on my carved rubber, I now never clean it off. I just let it dry. I know that's terrible, but it's waterproof and, it's not going anywhere once it's dry. I just let it dry on there. So, yeah, probably a bad move, but there you go. So, yeah, there's that. And I do have this one, too. And I do have the refill. I got this big Mama Jamba. And I have a refill somewhere around here. I'm not sure where it is. But I usually just use the little one, but you can use either one. Thanks, Jean. Nicely done. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else do we have for show and tell. I think, put that back on the shelf. Wait, what is this? Oh, that's Adirondack. Adirondack, I have eggplant. I just saw it on the shelf. But this is a pigment. What's this one? This is, I know they're probably two different things. Somebody can tell me. But I have the eggplant, and now this is the plum. And then I have the cornflower blue. I don't ever stamp anymore, guys, unless it's just something I've carved, you know? Unless it's just something I carved myself. Okay. So, I do have a stamp around here that says don't email me. I forgot who sent that to me. Might have been Laurel. Okay, so let me move my stamp pad. I think this was my, well, I got my color books that I ordered in, so that was my most excitement. But this is real exciting for me because I love me some new brushes. Jean probably likes this too. But if y'all missed it, I did a little kind of a mini flip. I got the Mysterious Library because of Laura, Art Anxiety Adventures. I got the Myth and Magic, and I got the Manic Botanic. And I did flips, if you're just coming in, Vicki, I did flips of all these throughout the hour and 45 minutes. You like the Adirondack? Is permanent. Vicki said it's a pigment one. Okay. Yeah, I gave away all I think I have a little bit of embossing powders around here. I think I kept a couple because of the cool colors, but I pretty much gave all like I have this one. Look at this one. This is a jelly powder one, but I pretty much gave all my embossing stuff away because I never used it, guys. I just quit embossing anything. So yeah, I kept a couple colors just because they were pretty. So yeah, I'm looking around, see if there's anything else. New or done. Oh, I did finish. Let me wash my hands before I touch a color book. Hang on. I had pretty much finished the page in here with the door. The reason I'm bringing this out now is because Laura's also got this book now, and she's going to work in it too. And if y'all missed it, this is the one I bought. I got this off Amazon too, about maybe for my birthday. And I've been working in this one with just with the Crayola markers, and just kind of working here and there and playing a little bit. This is the only page I've made any kind of progress on. Mel G bought it. I know. I'm sorry. We all enable each other. What can I say? So this is as far as I got on this page, and I did paint the background with black acrylic. That's the only way that you can get these nice feathered glows and rays on top of black. Well, you can get it on top of it. Like this is pre-printed, right? But this had a white background, so if I would have put black pencil, there's no way you could get that to go on top of black pencil. So it's black. I did paint all the black acrylic, and all this you see here is pencil ray. All this up here, that's all pencil ray. But this is started with just those Crayola markers, the kids ones, these babies, the cheap ones, 50 of them for 10 bucks. Use a 50% off coupon. You can get 50 of them for $5. And they last a long time, guys. I am so surprised. They're Crayola. They're good. And they're water-based, and they don't go through as long as you don't scrub. Like here, I did these little cactus here. Nothing goes through. However, when the first page I started using them, I didn't think. I didn't think about, and here's where I'm doing a lemon slice one. I didn't think about it going through. I just didn't think, because it never really ever goes through a color book page as long as you don't scrub with it. Well, I was sitting in front of the TV and I was coloring. Where's that page? I think it's it. There's my little teal apples there. So where is it? I think I passed it. The purple one here. This one. So this is the first one I started. And I wasn't really thinking or paying attention, so I was just coloring one spot over and over and over, trying to get it nice and smooth, forgetting about, oh, that might go through if you don't stop. As long as you just do a little bit of color, it's fine. But it almost went through. Look, see how it ghosted right there? And that was with coloring like a real heavy concentrated coloring. And it still didn't go through, but it almost did. So as long as you just color, you know, like look at this. I did it like a red heart, dark green marker, bright red and orange marker. It didn't go through. Now the yellow, of course, is this side. I mean, you know, the yellow is from coloring her. But it didn't go through. So as long as you're careful not to over scrub your Crayola markers, it's fine. And then you can see here where I started shading with pencil. See the dark blue? See, like there's the light blue with no shading. And then there's where I started shading. So yeah. So I just, you know, just kind of whatever I felt like coloring. I just picked up a marker, and if I wanted to do something on that page, I just did something on that page and moved on. I just don't, you know, now if we're coloring something on a stream and I'm doing like a demo, then, and I try to color as much as I can in a page or a couple, 2, 3 parts, I'll try to finish a page. But I don't mind doing this. I'll just color a little this tonight, a little bit this tomorrow, next day. It just doesn't bother me to like work all around in a page. So yeah, so that's as far as I got on any fuller page done. And I still have all the, you know, little elements to do. But all the little stars are all hand drawn. All the rays you see, that's all pencil on top of acrylic. This is dark, you know, green, 2 shades of green ray on top of black acrylic, and then some orange glow around the fire with pencil. Bye, Sandra. Thanks for stopping in. So anyway, what I was going to say is, Laura's going to, she's, it's so funny when I watched her. She said, I'm not cutting those doors out. See, I cut them out. You know, the doors that go on the birdhouses. She goes, I couldn't desecrate the book. I couldn't cut that out. Well, you know me. I cut them right out. And we put them on the page. So what I did is I did do a little bit more work on this to completely finish it, because when I took a photograph of it to post, even to the Facebook group that this girl has, I don't know her name, Clara Markova. Clara Markova has a Facebook group for this book. I didn't show these doors open because I had not finished the insides. Well, I did finish them. So now they're finished on the inside. So there's that one. The little bedroom. I did this one like a little pink bedroom, and again all the stars and everything like that, and a little lantern. So I put the little glow marks there. I can't get too much closer because I have the autofocus, so it doesn't zoom in and out. So there's that. And the backs of these doors are just white. I had to make my own wood grain on the back side because there's nothing on the back side of these when you cut them out. So I couldn't leave it plain. And then this one did blue, and it's like a little leaf hammock. And again, made a little lantern, colored the little dressers and the rug, and had to do my own wood grain on the back. And So, and then the little hinges. And then I did add a little bit more little white to the key. And I know everybody says that looks like a sock monkey right there. I did kind of, he had some like pupils in there. I kind of got rid of those. But I did highlight some of the chain and the metal on the key. And so, yeah, so I did finish this because those weren't, these weren't finished on the inside when I posted the picture. So I wanted that done. And that's all I've done in this. Oh, and I did do a swirl on here that needs to be put into tan. I wanted to lighten up this swirl, this burl in the tree, but I don't want it white, so I got to go back over it with this tan color. Work that in. There's a couple places. I missed a couple places, but I'm not going to repost it because everybody saw everything except the insides of the door. I know, isn't it just the cutest thing ever to cut those doors out? And there's another one, this right here, this door. And see, they give you a little flap. So what I did is on the back side, you cut a slice. Oh, thanks, Lisa. That's nice. You cut a little slice in the door spot or the door hinge, like it goes behind there. And then I just taped it on there. So there you go. You can see. See, it comes with a little flap so that you can, it'll, you know, stay secure like that. And then this door right here, this one, goes on top of the locket, which is this one. So that when you put, see the little dotted line? So you cut it right there on the dotted line. Here, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. I'm not going to color it right now, but I'll just show you how it works. And I'm not going to tape it in because I don't do that until I at least get it going, because you don't want to try to color behind a hinge. That would be a while. You want to at least do that before you, but I'll show you how it works here. Because that one has a little fairy inside the locket, and this covers it up. So if you have any questions while I'm fussy cutting for just a second. I know Laura was here, she could be having a hissy because I'm cutting into the perfect book. Hey Valerie, anybody else popping in I missed? I'm just cutting off this little door that goes on top of the locket that hides the fairy in the locket. And this paper is pretty thick. It's not cardstock, but it's probably, I don't have Janet's little measuring tool. I'm guessing 65 pound maybe. I don't think it's 90. Let's say maybe 65. I'm guessing lepi, whatever. I think that means cut in Czech. Yes, I know. She was thinking the same thing, Vicki. Laura'd be freaking out. Okay, so let's go over to the locket. Here. Now, you definitely want to put something behind it, right? Let me get a cutting mat here. Where's my little cutting mat? I got a little one here. Hang on, there's stuff on top of it. Let me get my little close to my heart cut mat out. I'm going to put it under here. Get my X-Acto knife, which probably needs a fresh blade. But it might get one more cut. Okay, so what you do, and let me just make sure, yeah. They have dotted lines there, so I make sure I only have one page. Is, you know, I'm just going to cut right there on the dotted line. And then what you do, and again, I would color some of this first because it's going to be too hard to color around this if I tape it in. Sample pictures from this coloring book is a link to the Coloring Queen's blog where she has a coloring contest. Well, you can post a link, Beth. I won't have time to enter a coloring contest. But anybody here, go ahead and look at Coloring Queens. Beth put the link in here, but go peruse the awesomeness that is the Coloring Queen. She has a contest going. Thank you, Beth. Okay, so now I got that cut. And so what you do is you just got your little flap and you put it in the little thing here. And what I would do, I got to cut it just a little bit more. Going to make it just a little bigger. See if that's good enough. Okay, so again, see how it's white on the back? I'll have to paint this. Oh, the contest is closed. Oh, well, then never mind. If you're watching this, don't go over there and enter a contest. It's closed. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I will have to paint the back of this like metallic or something because I won't want this white when everything else is colored, right? So here we go. This is what it's going to look like, right? And what I'll do later is I'll put a piece of tape here to hold it so this won't fall out. So when you've got it done coloring, you got this locket. See? And then you open up the locket, and there's the little fairy inside. Isn't that cute? So yeah. So that's the same thing that I did with these doors to the little bird houses. And then painted the inside of the door with the faux wood grain. I know, wasn't that such a great idea for her to come up with these little doors? I wish she would have had more. Because I think that would have been awesome to have even more. But she just had the 3. And then there's the little picture of which page you're supposed to use it on. Because it's all in Czech. None of it's in English. So you got to kind of figure it out by visualizing it. And that's all I've done in this book. So I probably should put a tiny, tiny bit of piece of tape because this might fall out and then I'll be sad. And so would Laura. So I'm not going to completely tape it in, but I just want a little piece of Scotch tape there just so that the door doesn't come out. I'll take it out when I want to color right in here and then, tape it back in, but I don't want to lose it. Yeah. So that's all I've done in this book. I want to do more in it, but and on this one, I don't want to paint any of the backgrounds black. I want to leave them all the cream, kind of cream color background. So all the backgrounds I want to have like all those little dots. I don't know. They look like little pollen to me. Little pollen or little flying seed, pollen things. I want them to show. So I'm not going to paint any of the backgrounds at this moment in my head. I'm not going to paint any of the backgrounds a color. I might have a little bit of, shading like a sun glow or something, but I'm going to try to keep all the backgrounds unpainted. Oh, I forgot I had done this one. Well, I'm not done. It's halfway done. I forgot I'd started on this, the perfume bottle. Totally forgot I'd done this, guys. But you can see I still have some more to go. But you can see how I put a little shine there on the bottle. But yeah. I'm glad I flipped to the front. So, yeah. And I think this is called Magical Delight. I think that's the translation. That's what we came up with when I first did this page. Magical Delight. Clara Markova. So, yeah. So that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. It's a little dark here, but when I was showing all these pages with white, I figured that it's best to have it a little on the dark side than too bright and flashed out, because that flashes out the color book pages. So, any questions or anything? I figured I'd share that for those who like the book, want to spend money. Oh, okay. All right. So anything else, guys, before I head out? I plan on streaming on Monday. I'm looking around, see if there's anything else I've done. Wait. Did I do anything in this page? Oh, I still haven't finished. Haven't quite finished this. This is Kenny sent me this last week. I have not quite finished it. I got, a little bit of shading here to do. So I posted a work in progress photo of this on Instagram and Twitter, but this is the only page I've, obviously, she just sent it to me last week. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Orla sent me this, and I want to work in this next week as well. In Wild, Bennett Klein's Wild. I'm not sure what page I want to do out of this, but I love me some Bennett Klein. Oh, look, a Pedro. We name all our octopus Pedro. It's kind of like a thing. So, hey, Teresa Crafting. I didn't see you there. Thanks, Marilyn, for being here. Charlie Girl. Anybody else I might have missed? And I don't know if Paula's streaming tonight. Does anybody heard? Okay, good. I'm so glad you got to pop in, Debbie. Debbie starts back to teaching on Monday. Thanks, Mel G. Does anyone know Paula Journal Artista is streaming? She usually streams Wednesday nights and Saturday nights when she's not working. But we never know unless, till she tweets, and I haven't heard, so. But, y'all make sure. And peruse the awesomeness that is Paula. Okay, guys, I'm going to head out, and we'll see you on Monday or, different streamers. Sana streams tomorrow. I usually don't make Paula's late night streams, but once in a while I'll watch her, not chatting because I'm usually in bed. But anyway. Okay, guys, no other questions? All right, then we'll see you on Monday. And I got to remember to do that giveaway. I got to do my packs of giveaway on Monday. Don't want to forget that. Maybe Terry Trouble will remind me. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Bye. Light or too dark because of the time of day. It's a different time of day when I usually stream, because normally when I stream, the sun is like beating right through my window, right here, right over there. So anyway, so this is how I keep most of my pencils that I'm using like all the time. So anyway, that being said, what I've been doing is, y'all let me know if it's too dark. I'll turn on the other light because I don't know. I don't want it to flash out, but so what I've been doing in this book is I've been starting with using those markers. And what I've been doing is not like coloring one page, but just picking out different things that, like, let's say red flowers. So I take my red and I go through and just pick out all the red flowers that I want to do. And that's how I've been working in this, although I do have one page right here that I'm a little further along in. So this one, I did color the background black acrylic paint, and then did all the stars and the rays and all that coming out of the Sacred Heart. And that's all I've done. I haven't done any of these other little emblems around. Yeah, probably at least 2, Jean. So this is one of the pages that I've got farther in. Other than this one, though, I'm just going to start flipping from the back so you can kind of see. This was already black. All the rest of the pages that you're going to see that are black were already that. The book came that way, okay? But we've done a flip of this before, and I know it's going to flash out because of the white. But so it's some pink flowers there and some little pink things there. Thanks, Jennifer. This one, the black was already on her kimono, I've added the red. Now I haven't done any shading. See, I haven't done any shading with this yet. I've just taken the markers and base coated it. And then what I'll do is, let me just grab a red here. What I'll do is I'll go in and start shading and doing, you know, more to it. But right now, all the pages that you're going to see are pretty much, unless I say otherwise, just have a little bit of marker. And these are just the watercolor you know, the wrapped up in a lemon peel. I'm not sure if that's the idea, but I'm going to make it half lime, half lemon. So I did some with the lemon yellow, and then I'm going to do some with the lime, because it just kind of looks like she's in a lemon peel. Right? I'm not sure. So I'm going to do her in lemon and lime peel. I did a ribbon here, and this is a little tricky getting in there, I'll tell you, in the ditch of the book. But I did all the lacing and the ribbon in a blue, and that's all with just the light blue marker. And then what I'll do is I'll take a darker blue and start, you know, adding shading and detail. Let me just do one right here. Then you just go back and do more detail. I'll hold it up here in a second. Hey, Lori. Before you're covered in glue. What are you working on if you're going to be covered in glue? I'm just going to do this one ribbon here. So you can kind of see how you can base coat something with a marker and then go back. So like here's without any, and then here's with. So you see how you can shade it with the pencil on top of the marker? Like that. So that's the idea behind all of the marker, is then go back and do this kind of thing over it while you're working on it. But I got the lace, like it's like a corset, right? And then there's a ribbon. This one, I started with the little broom, some sunflowers, and some straw. Hey, Dot. And again, no shading yet, but it's so fun to be able to have the base coat already there, and then to be able just to go in and do a little bit of shading. You don't have to do much. See, just that little bit right there. That to that. So that's my plan, man, for this book. It's just to, you know, when I just don't want to have to think about anything, I just take my markers and just fill in. Now these were a light orange, and then I did go in and shade with the darker orange. That one. And then these little pea pods or seed pods or whatever kind of pods. Some kind of pods. What else? And I started doing some water lilies here. And a little yellow moon. Not a whole lot yet in this one. I did some kind of some crayon apples or something. I didn't want to look. I wanted them to look like an exotic, unknown fruit, so I did them in teal. So I did these little apples or whatever they are in a color of marker. This color marker. This, and there's no names on them. I can't tell you a number. But anyway, I base coated them in this color, then went on top of it with pencil and shaded the little apples or whatever they are. So there's that one. I need to refocus my camera, I can tell. This was already black in the background. Lotus pods? Thanks, Sarah. Lotus pods. Okay, so I think that's all I got done in this one. So this is the Color Me Enchanted. Again, let me move some stuff out of the way here. Refocus. When you show a lot of white, it wants to unfocus. Let's see what I can do. If it gets too dark, guys, tell me, because I don't have a lot of lights on, because it's a different time of day in here. There we go. It just needs some propping up because of the lamp. So anyway, that's the one that I'm working in with markers, with the Crayola markers. Okay, so let me show you what I got in the mail. What did I do with them? Oh, where did I put them? Oh, here we go. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, welcome everybody to an impromptu Saturday afternoon stream. Coffee and art, now in the afternoon today. So I got some color books in my mail, so I thought I'm going to go ahead and stream it because I can't wait till Monday. Plus I went to Hobby Lobby and got a few things, so I'm going to show you that. This is a book I've already, I ordered this a while back and had not done anything in it. And I said, because in some books I try to use a certain pencil in this one, a different pencil in that one, watercolors in this one, Neocolor 2s in that one. Well, in this one I decided that I would at least start just using my Crayola markers. And I reorganized them all into their nice little bundles. Sarah, stop! Stop singing, Sarah! You gotta have that song's gonna be stuck in my head. So I bundled them up, and these are probably, they come in a pack of 50, so this is probably maybe 2.5 sets all total. But I bundle them by color, and it's got a little dark with this, but we'll see how it goes when I start showing things. So I bundle them, like there's my purples, my pinks and reddish purples, my pinks, light pinks and flesh colors, dark blue, light blues, green blues or turquoise colors, and then here's light greens, dark greens, browns, yellows, oranges and reds, and grays. So I have them all bundled by, if I want to color, I just pick up a bundle like this. It's just so easy to me. And I do the same thing with my Prismacolors for the most part. Then if they're in a bundle like this, I can just pick it up and do this, find the color I want, pull it out, and there you go. When I'm done with it, just stick it back in the, yeah, I know, right? They do. I don't know why they started that, but that's true. They do. They will censor that, Ange. So anyway, yeah, so it's just real easy to, fan through your colors just like it is with pencils. You have them in a bundle. You can just do this, find what you want. It's just easy, right? And then the ones I use all the time, I've shown y'all, I just put them in, a tray like this. Is it too dark, guys? I can turn on another lamp, but I wasn't quite sure if it was too light. They're not even watercolor, water-based Crayola markers. They're just the little Crayola markers. So, like I just sat in front of the TV and picked up a red marker and went through. Then I might pick up, this was already black, a little bit of green. Now, before I really, I should have tested a little better. On this page, I was watching TV and not really paying a lot of attention, so I was really coloring hard. In other words, if you want to use markers like these Crayola markers on a color book page, and this is thicker, it's thicker than copy paper, but not much, okay? Not much thicker than copy paper. But, it's usually fine when you use these as long as you're not scrubbing with them. If you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, you scrub, 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 it'll start to go through. And this was the first page I did, and I wasn't paying too much attention, so it almost, see, it ghosted a little there. It almost went through. So after seeing that, then I was more careful. I didn't do a lot of layers, right? I just did, carefully did one layer, and then now it's fine. I mean, the rest of the pages are fine. But you have to test your Crayola markers to make sure that they're not going to go through. Of course, alcohol-based markers, it goes without saying, they will go through. So I've already done a flip through this book when I first got it, when I ordered it. But I'm just kind of showing you, like here I did a little green bug, a little bit of yellow on the bee. So I would just pick a marker and just start, doing little bits. And then again, this is the one that I've got the farthest on. It started out, I outlined this in the red marker and then shaded the rest with pencil. This is all marker and then a tiny bit of red. But it's yellow, orange, and red marker. Then I just kind of blend it a little bit with a little bit of red. And then all the rest of this is pencil on top of the acrylic paint. Now the reason you can do this, the reason you can do those rays and the stars on top of black is because it's acrylic paint. You can't do this on top of pencil. If I had penciled all that in with black pencil, you could not do those white, green, orange rays on top of black pencil. It just won't work. It has to be acrylic paint. So, yeah, so that's as far as I got on that one. And, yeah. Okay, so here we got, this girl looked like she was